Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. Welcome to my channel. I do a lot of different nail tutorials here, mostly for nail strips, typically the kinds that need UV light, sometimes those that don't. And today I'm going to be trying this new to me brand called Zinipin. I bought this with my own money. This is not sponsored, and I'll put links for everything I'm using down in the description box. I purchased these during the holiday sales at the very end of 2023, and now it's May of 2024 that I'm filming this, so I actually don't remember what I bought as far as the color. Oh wow, these are really pretty. It's like a marble design for the accent nails, and then the main color is this, I don't know, like a mix of blue and green and gray. Right off the bat, I see a tiny manufacturing defect on this strip right here. There's a little bit of an unevenness to the surface. I'll show you how to hide that, but I don't love seeing that. These do need the light to finish curing them, so if you don't own a light already, you're going to need one. The brand includes instructions here for us, and unfortunately a lot of the times most nail brands try to make these instructions seem super duper quick and easy, and it's not that they're hard, but usually adding a few optional steps really prolongs the wear. I see here that they're recommending filing the sticker the excess length before curing. If you try to do that, it will make for a frustrating nail application experience. So stay tuned and I will share all of my tricks with you. Even though it's my first time with Zinipin, it is definitely not my first time with nail stickers. In fact, just this week, I got a little Facebook memory notification that back in 2015 I was already using nail stickers and I never stopped since then. Nail prep is going to be your most important step. I like using a metal cuticle pusher. I already pushed back my cuticles before I started filming just to make the filming process a little bit easier, but you basically go and push them back. If you want to know more about what is the difference between the proximal fold and the cuticles and why we don't cut the proximal fold and how to properly use cuticle remover, I highly recommend checking out a channel called The Salon Life. One of you guys recommended it to me just last week, and I have been binging her videos since then. It's absolutely fantastic nail education from a licensed nail tech with lots and lots of experience. Don't mind this. This is not an issue anymore, but it's just a case of nail greenies, which is also common. The brand included some nail prep pads. All it is basically rubbing alcohol. Sometimes I find the included ones a little bit dry. This is nice and saturated. If the ones that you have are too dry, if you're using a different brand and it just doesn't feel very good, I recommend getting some of these. These are just the Curad alcohol pads. I get them from Costco in bulk. They last me forever, but these Zinipin ones are actually very good. Much better than what I typically get. So I am degreasing my nails with this, and prior to even starting, I washed my hands really well. I dried them, and I avoided using any oils or lotions or anything else like that on my nails before doing this. The little instruction card tells us that the flatter side of the nail strip is the cuticle line, which means that this side is the cuticle line. To be completely honest with you, I don't think it matters all that much. They're kind of domed, so they're thinner at both ends and at both sides here to make them look more like a salon manicure versus just a sticker. I really enjoy dome stickers as long as they provide enough sizes in the set. When there are not enough sizes and I have to trim down the width, if I have to make them more narrow, then that takes away that domed effect. I don't think that's going to be an issue here because we get quite a few different sizing options. We pushed back the cuticles, we degreased the nails. Now it's time to pick the nail strips. I think this one is the right size for my pinky. I always want pretty much full coverage on the nail, but not so full that it goes over the skin. If the strip touches the skin or goes over the skin, you're not going to get good, long-lasting results. Now, sometimes I do buff the surface of my nail a little bit to make it just a bit more uneven and more grippy, but after watching the Salon Life, she recommends only doing that to the very bottom of your nail, to the new growth, and nails only grow about 1 millimeter a week. I just had an unsuccessful manicure with Polish Pops because my set was defective. They did send me new formula and new sets. I will be trying those eventually here, but long story short, I buffed my nails less than a week ago, and therefore I don't want to buff them right now. I'm happy with the placement, so I push down the sticker with the pad of my finger, which is typically what the brands suggest as well, or they will say to use the included orange stick, the wooden stick. I prefer having one of these little things. It's a rubber tipped cuticle pusher. I really like these tools because they don't dent the sticker and they can get really precise pressure on the edges way better than what I can do with my fingers. I actually don't know why more nail brands don't include them in their sets. Maybe the wooden ones are just a lot cheaper. I don't know. Once this is nice and smooth, you can keep going with the application and trim them all at once. I do kind of a mix, it just really depends. This is where Zinipin says to use the nail file to file off the excess, but this sticker is semi-cured. It's not hard, it is kind of pliable, and if you try to file it now, it's going to be a mess. So what I recommend doing instead is using either manicure scissors like what I'm doing, or using nail clippers and just clip the excess length off. You don't have to be very precise. If your nails are very long, you can go ahead and trim it with the nail. And that's what I did when I was doing polish pops, because my nails at the time were very long. My nails right now are not super long, and I'm pretty happy with their length and the shape. So all I did was trim just the sticker. You can see if you look closely, it's not perfect. There's like a little edge here. We're going to fix all of that after curing, because it'll be a lot easier to do that after curing. But for now, this will do. Let's keep going. I do wish they had more of this marble design. They just have a few accent nails, but I suppose that's okay. Now that I look at it, this nail here, this sticker also has a little imperfection. This one does as well. I don't know. The surface finish of these is not perfectly smooth. I'm not sure why. Other than that, they feel nice and thick, but not stiff. I talked about this at length in my Polish Pops video, but I don't like nail stickers that feel very stiff and rigid right when I'm applying them, even before I cure. That's pretty much a dead giveaway that they're not going to last for me. And I've tried now many different brands that, you know, were not really wearing well for me. I do have a nail rating video. I have a couple, but I have one that's very recent that you can check out for my favorites. Obviously, Zinipin, Polish Pops, they didn't make it to that rating because I haven't tried them at that point. I do plan on updating the rating eventually once I tried more brands, but I have a lot of brands in that rating, like Nailog, Ahora, Dashing Diva, a lot of different ones. Again, the trimming doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you're getting the bulk of the excess length off, you're pretty much good to go, because we're going to clean up all of that at the very end. I applied the strips. This is what's left. Granted, I did ruin one of them because I really wanted two of the marble designs on my right hand, but unfortunately, the ones that are left are too big for my fingers. There was one left that was too big for my pinky, but too small anywhere else, but only slightly too small. So I peeled it off and tried stretching it side to side to make it a little bit wider. There are some brands like Ahora that can be stretched a little bit, not a ton, but you can definitely get a millimeter out of them, which makes all the difference, honestly, when it comes to nail sizing. These are not stretchy. So I ruined one, and then this is what's left. I'm going to keep these until I'm done with my manicure, until I'm done wearing these, because sometimes one nail will have a freak accident pop off or something, so it's nice to have a couple extras, even if they're not exactly the same size as I need. I could trim something, whatever, but this is definitely not enough to do 2 manicures. This is my favorite nail tip of 2023. This is a game changer. It's a squish light. There's an LED light in here, and you just turn it on. I put saran wrap on mine because the little squishy part tends to get torn up by the nails, so I'm protecting it with the saran wrap, and then all I do is rock it back and forth on each nail for a little bit. The whole purpose of this is to start curing a little bit and applying pressure at the cuticle side. This really helps prevent lifting. This saved my applications with certain brands like Ahora that would tend to get lifting maybe 5 to 7 days after wear, whatever. I love this This is not a replacement for a full cure. I do this to all the nails, really focusing on the cuticle side because again, this helps with the hair snagging at the cuticle. And then after that, I do the full cure with a lamp. My lamp will not fit into the frame, and the lamp that I have is no longer being sold anyway, but I have another option for you in the description box. Once the nails are fully cured is when you can go ahead and get your nail file. I prefer to use my own because I like a little bit wider, coarser file than what's typically included. This is our time to go ahead and clean up all of the slightly uneven edges, anything like that. The stickers are completely hard now. I cannot dent them or anything, which makes it super easy to file. Again, you don't want to cure the full length of stickers before cutting off the excess because then it's going to be very difficult. You won't be able to cut them. You can't file them off. But when you just have a little bit of something here, like I have a corner here that's too sharp, you can go ahead and clean that up with a nail file. I don't know why Zinipin says to file these before curing because I tried that the very first time years ago when I tried a Hora, I think it was 2020, and I tried doing that because that's what their instructions said as well, and it was honestly terrible. It was a mess. It took me forever because if you haven't tried filing a semi-soft nail sticker, I mean, you can't really understand what an absolute pain it is, but it's so easy to do after you've fully cured. So I just do this. You can reshape your nails slightly, like you can make them a little bit more narrow or a little bit more straight across, whatever. You're not going to be able to drastically change the shape at this stage. So if you have some drastic changes that you want to make, please do that before you cure the stickers. But you can definitely clean it all up with the nail file for the little things here. I filed everything. I'm happy with the shape and the length. I'm not happy with my hand eczema, but I think that's here to stay because the doctor says it is caused by stress, and my stress is here to stay for sure. Now we can technically stop here. You can be done. The brand says that that's it, you know, that's the last step. However, as I mentioned, there are some surface imperfections on actually more nails than I originally noticed. There's something here. They all seem to be kind of close to the cuticle line. This nail has a little, I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel like anything to the touch, like there's no texture difference, but it almost looks like a little cut through the, I don't know, through this gel, whatever. So I don't love that. I actually don't think I can fix that with a top coat, but I'm still going to do a top coat. I always do a top coat when I do nail strips because I like sealing the free edge. If I'm going to spend the time doing my nails and when I'm not filming, I can do the whole thing in, I don't know, like 40 minutes if I'm taking my time while watching a show or something. Adding a few minutes to do the top coat is not a big deal for me if it means that these will look really good for the full 12 to 14 days. I'm using this top coat in most of my videos simply because this is what I currently have. This was gifted, but the video is not sponsored. This is the Alice and Bella. It's a one-step no wipe top coat, meaning that when you cure it, it's not going to have that tacky layer that you have to wipe off. Now, sometimes before I do the top coat, I will go ahead and wipe off my stickers with just another go of the prep pad, the alcohol pad, to make sure that I get all of my skin oils off of them, maybe any remaining nail dust from filing. But these ones on the back of the box say that acetone or alcohol can damage the surface of the stickers, and so I'm not going to do that. Now, I don't know if they mean that it can damage the surface before they're cured, and maybe after they're cured it would be okay. I'm really not sure, but I'm not going to risk it at this point, so I just did my best wiping off all of the little nail dust that I could see, and I'm just proceeding with doing the top coat. I always seal the free edge first. I've seen people do it different ways online, including licensed nail technicians. I'm not a licensed nail technician, and if I do the nail first and then seal the free edge, I tend to get this weird little thicker lump at the edge, kind of like what you see here, maybe not as dramatic. So I do the free edge first so that when I'm putting the top coat on the rest of the nail, it smoothes out that little bump. And again, maybe it's just my lack of skill. Maybe that's why I'm getting the bump, but this way works really well for me, so I just keep doing that. After I apply the top coat, I go ahead and cure it, and then I do the other hand. So I do one hand at a time because I don't want to risk messing up the finish of the top coat while it's wet if I wanted to paint my nails on the other hand. Plus my lamp, as most lamps, only fits one hand at a time, so I have to cure it one hand at a time anyways. Here is the final result with the top coat fully cured. Everything is done. I really like these. I do wish, as always, that the sizing were a little bit different. Or I shouldn't say as always, but my recent experience with a few different sets by different brands just left me wanting more of this medium to smaller size. I don't know if my hands are just abnormally small. I wear size 5.5 ring. I just didn't have these issues before with Dashing Diva or Ahura, and here the sizes were fine. It's just there were not as many of this marble design. Like I said, this is what I have left, but unfortunately that means that my right hand only has the marble thumb, which I guess is okay, and then my left hand has 2 of the marble designs. Overall, the application was very simple. I didn't have any problems. The top coat did hide some of the imperfections, but not all of them. I can still see this weird cut type thing on this nail, but that's not something that anybody else would probably notice. I just notice it, but I see the same kind of 2 little things on this nail. I don't know what's happening. It's something with their manufacturing, I'm sure. It's not a deal breaker for me. I would get this brand again, happily, depending on how it wears, I should say. But just based on the application experience alone, it's thick but not too thick. It did a great job hiding the ridges, even with these solid colors. A lot of the times the solid colors show ridges really well because there's no design to distract the eye. But here, I really think that they did a great job. And of course the top coat also helps, but with some formulas like the Dashing Diva Glow, there's no helping it. It highlights every single ridge and actually makes it look worse. So I can definitely see why this is one of the most popular brands in Korea for nail stickers. It's probably well-deserved fame. We'll see how they wear, like I said. Keep an eye out on my Instagram at KBeautyHobbit. I post nail wear updates there to my stories. I have a nails highlight, and I post video announcements there for new tutorials as well, plus some different K-beauty reviews and things like that. K-beauty is my passion, but I also love nails, and for some reason people really watch more of my nail content than anything else. So thank you very much for joining me today. I am always open to suggestions on how to improve the process or different brands to try, and I always love hearing about your experience with the brands that I am trying, so please leave me a comment. You can find me on Instagram, like I said, at KBeautyHobbit, my blog, KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. We have almost 96,000 members now and growing, which is unbelievable. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.